Welcome to another episode of Breadcrumbs from the Soul, a radio station dedicated to finding those hidden miracles in life's everyday circumstances. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about living on the edge, a life in trust. And I entitled it that because living in trust of a loving universe that is really here to address your needs and to give you all that you need can feel like you're literally living on an edge, like the edge of a cliff. We don't get to know all the answers right away, and it's very disturbing to our sensibilities. We like to know where we're going. We like to have the goal and see that as a end point, and it makes us feel stable. So we feel very unstable with this concept of trust and what it really means to live in trust. One thing that's very important to know about trust is trust is not blind. We are not blindly supposed to stand there and hope that the universe delivers that which we would really like. Well, but what if it doesn't? What if the universe has another idea for us? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like what the universe has to say, so I think I want to do it on my own. I think the only way I'm going to be sure is if I do it on my own. Or if I'm supposed to live in trust, I guess I have to just blindly accept whatever the universe gives to me. It's not like that. Here's the important news. The universe, your loving source, is nothing that's outside of you. It's inside of you. Our soul is our connection to that. Our instincts and our intuition is our communication channel with our soul, which always remains connected. This is very important. Trust is about co-creation. We co-create with our loving source. That means our will is important. What we long for, what we desire is important. And what we end up with when we live a life of trust is what we desire and more. When you live in trust, the universe delivers beyond your imagination that which you most desire. But it is a co-creation activity. And it begins, and the only way you can co-create is, and I'm going to change it up in this episode. Normally, I go through a real life circumstance or I share a story of a real life circumstance where this message applies, and then I give you some steps. Well, this time I'm going to change it up. I'm just going to go right in. Step one is you have to believe that you are a child of the most magnificent, loving source, and that you were created in the image and likeness of this source. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you look like the source. We can't even imagine in our wildest dreams or comprehend with our human mind what our source looks like. But we are created in the image and likeness, in that we are as powerful. Our creative capabilities are as magnificent as that of our loving source. We begin our co-creation. We begin to manifest whatever we desire and more when we believe that we are worthy and capable of co-creating with our loving source. There is a wonderful practice of ohms. If you've ever done an ohm meditation, do your ohms, 25 ohms, and if you can do it 3 times a day, that's fabulous. You would be amazed at how your life changes. I was only able to do it twice a day because the whole process takes like 15-20 minutes. But you just want to ohm 25 times. So I'll do 2 ohms just to give you an example. And you do that 25 times, so it takes some time. And in that process of ohms, what I like to do is I like to visualize that I am that powerful co-creator, that I create peace and love with my energy, and that I use the energy of the ohm to send love out to everybody, to give to everybody. And so at times when I'm feeling lack of money, in my ohms, I'll send money out to everyone that I feel might need it. And so I had a neighbor that I always thought kind of was down on her luck. And I would send to her all that she needed to be safe. And I would send love to people that I call my enemy. And I would visualize for them in these ohms that they are receiving everything that they need for their highest good. And so it's a process of giving. And that in that place of giving, what you're really doing is you're exemplifying to the universe that you understand and accept that you are powerful, so powerful that you have these things to give. And that's a very powerful place of attraction. So that's step one. We have to start with that understanding. I am a powerful, go ahead and repeat after me. I am a powerful, magnificent being of light and love. I am capable of manifesting whatever I desire. And in that process, having everything, everyone, and every circumstance turn out for a win-win for all. So let's go on to step 2. Joyfully co-create. The fabric that surrounds us connects us to our loving source, and this fabric responds to our every choice. Whether it's positive or negative, it responds to us like breathing. It's a breathing fabric. It grows with us and moves with us. It delivers to us that which we most need to achieve our desired results. In step 2, we surrender our desire to do it on our own. And we acknowledge that we do this in union with our loving source. That in fact, what we do is we provide our loving source with the thread. And our loving source is the weaver. We don't understand. We can create a beautiful thread, but we don't know how to weave that thread so that it not only serves our purpose, but serves to the highest benefit of all. And that's the true power of love, is when we understand that we get to have all, fully abundant, and everybody else does too. We don't have to take something from somebody else to get. We all get to. And this occurs when we participate in the co-creation of a loving universe. We do that by producing our unique and beautiful thread, and then handing that thread our skills and talents, those things that our heart sings, that makes our heart sing, and we give that whole spool, we hand that right over to the weaver, our soul. Our soul connected to the all, the super soul. We hand that into the loving hands of the weaver, and that weaver takes our thread and everybody else's and weaves a fabric more magnificent than our minds can comprehend. And that is life. And so we surrender our skills and our talents into the loving hands of the weaver. And we offer that up knowing that not only will our desires be met, but everybody else's will. And so how does that happen? Step 3, we go into service. We serve the weaver. We serve our soul, our higher self, Holy Spirit, that part of us which is connected to the source. We serve it. Why? Because it knows how to use our thread just right. We don't. We get to produce it. It's our special thread. It's what makes us so important to the completion of this beautiful fabric. The fabric cannot be completed without our thread. But we don't know how to use it. We can produce it and we can hand it over. And then the weaver instructs us how we serve best. And in that service, the fabric is woven. And so we offer our skills and talents into the hands of our loving source. And we then listen for the guidance. Okay, I give you my thread. How shall I proceed? I receive intuition. I receive insights. Sometimes they're images. And when I say I mean that's how we all do it. You will receive images. You will receive words sometimes in your head. You'll receive ideas. That's where the ideas come from. They come from our loving source. I'm going to open all my receptors. I'm going to open and receive guidance from that part of me which knows better than I do how to weave my thread so that I get what I want and everybody else gets something as well. I hope that you find these steps useful, and I hope that you understand how important your thread is to our fabric. This week, I'm going to release a meditation from one of the Pathways of Light courses. And this is course 114. This is the transforming power of trust. So I'm going to go ahead and read one of their meditations, and they have several meditations in this particular course. And also, then I'll put a link at the end of this video for you to go listen to that meditation. And in the meditation, I'll tell you how you could sign up if you're interested in taking this course with me as your facilitator over the phone. I'm so glad that you joined me for this episode, and I hope that you'll join me next week, same time, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, for another episode of Breadcrumbs from the Soul. And until then, I hope that you have a blessed week.